Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play and earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, I have a special video here where we're going to go through Splinterlands Farming 101. We're going to open up actually 308 end of season chests here on this stream. And go through the specific data at the end of the stream, breaking down all of the end of season data here for us across our farming accounts, as well as our total season data here. And then we're going to hop into a little bit of a account review for our Soulbound reward card account on our main account to see where we're at after 2 months of Soulbound reward cards and kind of extrapolate what that looks like here between now and, let's say, land 1.5 coming out. Now, I will just quickly say that I know it's been a little while since I've been able to publish a video here. I've been actually traveling and on the road for the last 2 weeks, which is why I have not had a chance to put out any content really other than some Twitter posts. So be on the lookout. We'll be having more videos here coming on the channel now that I am back in a spot where I can record videos pretty freely. And let's start here. Let me go in and let's open up 308 end of season chests across our various farming accounts. And just for a quick summary on what we're actually doing right now, we're actually not renting out any of our cards really. We're using all of our cards to basically farm Soulbound reward cards here at various levels, varying from champ level leagues to diamond league levels, all the way down to gold league levels. And we're farming that across basically 7 accounts. So let's hop into the chest opening here. And then once we conclude with that, then I'm going to break down all of the stats here for you. And I think you're going to find that very interesting. So those were some stacked chests there in our farmers only segment. And the breakdown there for those 308 end of season chests, in case you were not keeping track, that was 13 Chaos Legion packs that we pulled. We pulled a total of 531 BCX of Soulbound reward cards, which is the equivalent of 106 Riftwatcher packs, if these were Riftwatcher cards and not Soulbound reward cards. The value that we pulled in SPS and packs for the end of season across our accounts was $43.96. That doesn't include any potion value or, of course, any Soulbound reward card values. We also pulled 12,190 merits, which is the equivalent of 6 Gladius cases, and we pulled 525 alchemy potions and 503 legendary potions for end of season. Now, what's also interesting here is we use the Splex season reward reports to calculate our total season value for my 7 farming accounts here over the last 2 weeks. And this is including the potion value here. We actually, over the course of the last 2 weeks on our farming accounts, pulled 848 chests between end of season and daily focus chests. Of that, the value was $246.66 in value. That includes potion value, but it does not include any Soulbound reward card value. In that value is a total of 26 Chaos Legion packs that we pulled over the last 2 weeks. And then here's the big number here. We actually pulled 1,415 BCX of Soulbound reward cards here in the last 2 weeks, which is the equivalent of 283 Riftwatcher packs if these were 5 cards of Riftwatcher cards that we're pulling here in total for rewards. And the reason why I compare them to Rift Watcher packs is because, well, there's the number of cards in the Soulbound reward card set is roughly equivalent to the number of cards in the Rift Watchers, and they kind of function similarly as far as the mana values and stuff like that. Now, of those 1,415 BCX of Soulbound reward cards that we pulled over the last 2 weeks, 38 BCX of those were gold foil cards, which is great. And if you're curious on the farming by league level, now this is going to vary by everyone's account. For example, my gold farming accounts are very underleveled. Same with my diamond accounts. But here's just some numbers for you if you're curious. For my gold farm accounts, they pulled an average of 74 BCX of Soulbound reward cards this season, and my diamond accounts farmed 201 BCX on average for this season, and my champ farm account farmed 462 BCX this season. So you can see here, just from the BCX that are farmed, obviously the higher you can farm, the better. Champion is the ideal spot for farming Soulbound reward cards. Diamond's not too shabby. It's about 50% as effective roughly. And then gold is even another 50% down from diamond. So there are some of the data points that I can share with you after this season that you might find interesting. And I want to share with you before we conclude this video here, kind of where our main accounts Soulbound reward cards are at. And this is after 2 months. And I think this is important because what we know for land, for example, land 1.5 is expected to be about 4 months away. You know, let's see how much delay is, that we see there. But let's say land comes out in July timeframe for land 1.5 when we have, functional staking of cards on land. The reason why I think that's an important date is because I think that will change some of my Soulbound reward card farming strategy. So I basically have roughly, let's just say, 4 more months of farming here that we can do with our current card collection. Now, we've already got 2 months of farming in, so 4 more months would basically be a 3x of the results that we've received thus far if we did a linear extrapolation, which we can't do necessarily accurately because, well, there's always RNG here, but let's just assume that's kind of what we could expect. So if I look at summoners, because summoners are probably the most important thing to look at here for self-sufficient farming accounts moving forward, and you can see here pretty much all of our summoners are at least level 4, with some at level 5, and we only have one here that's at level 3. The reason why this is important, if I go into this, for example, Eternin Brune, we have here 38 BCX. If we were to extrapolate that out over 4 months, that would be a 3x there in BCX, which puts us at max level for this summoner. Now, the only summoner that we're not going to get at max level, at least from the current RNG numbers here in, let's say, 4 more months, would be Pembroke Nymph. That'll be pretty close. Let's say worst case scenario, we have 20 BCX of this card. This will be 60 BCX, let's say, in 4 more months, and that would put this card at gold level instead of max level. So if we had, for example, all of these summoners at max level except for one, which was at gold level, well, that's that's really good for a self-sustaining deck, for example, if I wanted to just use these Soulbound reward cards in theory to farm at, let's say, diamond or champion, perhaps in the future without really having to add too much to the deck and then move cards to another account or to land as an example. This could be realistic to achieve on my main account before land 1.5 hits in, let's say, 4 months. Now, if we look at monsters, on the other hand, legendary, we'll start at legendary here. We're going to have to see where the RNG takes us. We don't have all of the legendaries pulled here, and the best legendary level that we have here is a level 3 Musa Celine and a level 3 Dry Bone Raider. If we take the BCX here and we times it by 3, well, in this case, we'd have 3 Phyrexian Heroes. We'd have 6 Soriel the Bales, which would be a level 3. we'd have 6 Kulu Masterminds, which would be a level 3. We'd have a max level Musa. We'd have a level, I guess this would be still 9 B6, so that would be a level 3 Ava, a level 3 Izyar, a level 3 Soot, and a level 3 Barracks, and a max level Drybone Raider. So for the legendaries, we can extrapolate depending on how the RNG goes. We'd be anywhere between level 2 to level 3, some max levels here. And, we still haven't pulled all of the legendaries necessarily that are available to us. So maybe some of those would be at level 1 or level 2 after 4 more months. So, the legendaries may not be max level for champion here based on the RNG, but it's still a pretty strong collection here. And if we can go into the epics here, you can see where we're at with epics. Generally, all the epics are at level 2 to level 3 here, with some very close to level 4. So epics are looking pretty solid here. The rares, the average level here is kind of, it's kind of all over the place, honestly. We have some at level 2, 5, 4, 4, 6, 5, 2. So we're kind of all over the place with rares here from a leveling perspective. Commons across 2 months here, we're at level 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 6, 6, and 5. So anywhere between level 5 to level 7 commons after 2 months. So that puts us in good shape to max out the commons before land 1.5 hits. So there you have it. A quick farming 101, kind of showing where we're at farming our accounts. How was your end of season? What is your strategy right now for the game? Are you renting? Are you farming Soulbound reward cards? Are you burning DEC to get extra energy? Are you buying cards, reward cards for land? What is your strategy? Let me know in the comments below. I will let you know that for this season, I used 0 DEC on energy refreshes. I did not refresh any energy across any accounts. This was straight, essentially, no DEC paying here with the new energy to farm this amount of BCX of Soulbound reward cards. Until next time, keep stacking those stats.
That's entertainment.